my phone just decided to warn me about data roaming for some reason, so I don't know how much of the last thing it got. But anyway, basically on Facebook, this guy I don't really know that well, on his post, one of his friends was going, it, and it just like, ugh, it just pissed me off. So I wrote this post where I basically said, you know, I'm not even going to talk about the courage thing, because I can see arguments both for and against it, but, you know, it's really hateful to be saying it just because you don't understand. I don't even know. I have this whole long post thing. I'll probably put it in the description or something like that, because I actually think I put it pretty well. Anyway, I was just like saying, you know, like, what do you get by being so hateful? You don't know the situation, and yeah, it is courageous, because if Caitlyn wasn't famous, the media wouldn't be talking about it, and trans people across the world would continue to be pretty much, you know, locked in obscurity, where it's just this alien thing that people don't understand if they don't know anyone, or they don't know that the people they know are trans. And so in that sense, yeah, it's very courageous when you're a public figure, you know, to tell the world something that you know you're going to get Republican Facebook walls across the world telling you that you're an it, that you're, you know, that you're less than human, and, you know, you're an attention whore, and blah, 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 all those standard. It's funny how anytime anyone makes any argument that detracts from the norm, there's a lot of people accusing them of being an attention whore. Like, you can never disagree with something because you disagree with it. It's always just a facade, whatever. Facade, yeah. Facade to get attention, according to half the internet. Anyway, so I replied to them, and then all of a sudden they started circle jerking each other, and were like, oh, this person thinks you're bigoted. And yes, I am using a sarcastic baby voice, but whatever. That's how I picture them talking. And oh, this person thinks we're bigoted. Oh man, all we said is that we don't think that gender should get a courage award. And I'm like, dude, that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you going it. Yes, it is hateful to say it. It is, you're dehumanizing a person. You know, it's not that hard. Like, there's posts all over the internet. What pronoun do you use for a trans person? Easy, the one that they want you to use. What the fuck is the point of being an asshole? And if someone says, you know I was born biologically this gender, but my impulses, my feelings, my, you know, where my comfort zone is this gender, who the fuck are you to be like, excuse me, you're wrong. You were born this way. Okay? God made you this way. So, you know, I know everything. I've never met you, but I know that you're actually this gender and not the one that you know, have felt like for the last 10 years. Ugh. And the funny part about all of this is that, unlike a lot of my friends, I'm not really that, like, I don't know how to word this without it sounding terrible, but, like, I'm pro, you know, personal choice and stuff like that, but I do think that a lot of, how do I phrase this without it being super insulting? Jesus. I think that a lot of people with conviction that they are trans, well, again, going back to the whole, like, we're still stuck in these archaic ideas of gender, and I really don't think that the way you dress, or the way you talk, or the way you think, or whatever, says that you are this or that gender, you know, gender fluid. Like, there's so many different facets of human being, you know, being human and feeling and doing and stuff. Why do we feel compelled to lock it down to male or female? Like, we need more terms. We have more terms, but we need to make them more, you know, universally understood and accepted. Because it's like, you shouldn't have to feel like, oh, you know, I was born biologically male, but I like wearing dresses, and, you know, I like going shopping for shoes or whatever, therefore I'm female. Like, you don't have to be male or female. You could be. And, this is a really hard thing to talk about, because, you know, as I've mentioned in other videos, there's this problem where if you disagree with someone, people automatically assume you're like the opposite opinion, and it's like, well, no, I think it's a gray issue. And actually, that's another thing that they posted, and I think I just mentioned it, but they're like, one of the fucking guy that was like, it posted a image meme from Duck Dynasty, of course, saying like, problem with this world is people assume if you disagree with them that you're bigoted. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking you're bigoted because you disagreed with me, not because you're saying it. So, final point, I guess, is that I really don't. Gender is a fluid thing, you know. Orientation is a fluid thing. Every aspect of being human is a fluid thing. So stop trying to pigeonhole it into this very narrow definition of what you can and can't be. You know, like, you can be so much more than what you have to put down on the every 4-year census report, you know? You are more than your ASL, to date myself back to the early days of chat rooms and stuff. So if you are trans, or if you feel trans, or if you hate trans, or if you think trans is all just, you know, this made up bullshit for attention, check your impulses. Try to identify why you feel that way. You know, this is what I always say with every opinion. Rather than blindly believe that something is to be true, try to identify why you feel that way. Was it how you were raised? Were your parents telling you this is the way the world is, so you just went, okay? Question everything. Question everything and be open to dissenting information. You don't have to automatically, you know, be like, oh, well, scientists find that cigarettes are actually good for you, therefore cigarettes are good for you. Like, you know, I'm not saying like automatically believe everything new that comes out, but do keep it as a possibility that all these preconceived notions that you've been telling yourself are true all this time regarding gender, regarding anything, are not necessarily, my husband's work is right there, are not necessarily true, you know? And regardless of what you believe, maybe try not to be an asshole, you know? If you disagree with Caitlyn Jenner, or you disagree with trans, or whatever, don't call them it. Don't call them he, if preferably, you know, like, Caitlyn feels she's a woman, she says, please call me she. Stop being the fucking asshole and being like, he. Why? Why are you doing that? Seriously, why are you doing that? What are you gaining by being a fucking asshole like that? Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna stop recording before I crash my car. Thanks for watching. I have no idea how I'm gonna put this video up online. Probably this weekend or something. I'll have to put them together since it broke it apart. But yeah, that's it. Bye.